I was born in Chaska, Minnesota on July the 25th, 1917. Well, Andy kind of like raised me. He used to take me on his bike and drive me around. He took care of me. I always tell this joke about Andy. And he tried to make a loaf of bread, and the boys used to tease him all the time. That bread was so hard, if you threw up against the wall, it would break the wall. But he was good to me. He took care of me. I think he took care of me all that time. But Ed and Lawrence were cousins. And then Lawrence used to say to Ed, you know, he wanted to come out and see me. So they came out to Steve's. He lived in Carver and Farm. And then I started going with Lawrence, got acquainted with him. And then started going together for a while. And I stayed around in Carver and Chaska. And I married Lawrence, and he worked in Chanhassen at the feed store. So I stayed living there, worked there. Then he was killed in service. So there I was alone again. And that's kind of a blank to me what happened then. Lawrence never wanted a name that you could nickname, you know, like Lorraine. He wanted a name that, you know, straight name, Lorraine. And you couldn't name Lorraine. I mean, you couldn't nickname it to it well. And that's how we come up with Lorraine. I guess he was kind of out of the picture. I mean, he was good to me and everything, but he didn't do much with me. It was Andy that took care of me. Joe was very good to me. I missed him so. He took care of me. And Pa moved to Foley. He left the farm and he moved to Foley before he got married to stepmother. I mean, after he got married to his stepmother. I don't know what happened to her. Anyway, he lived in Foley And across the street, across the alley from my dad, there was Grandma Scott. Oh, she was such a good person. So she's the one that got me to live with me and Tony. I lived with them I don't know how many years. Just helped around, went to school there. I stayed with my cousin for a couple of years. Went to school, walked 12 blocks to school. One way and another way, 12 blocks back again. And I stayed with them for a while. And they used to get so mad at me because I wore my shoes out so bad. But no wonder when you walk 12 blocks each way, every day, twice a day. And I can't remember what happened then that I left there. Through Ed and Dolores again. They owned that little house that I bought. I bought that from them. So I lived there by myself, worked downtown, Powers, waitress work and stuff. I used to have, this nice lady. Can't even think of her name now. She was so nice. She used to stay with Lorraine, take care of her. I had that little house and we lived there till after I married Ray. So we built that house in front. He came from, with Leo Palmershine, he came from, let's see, where were they? Onamia. And him and Leo Palmershine, they started to work at Minneapolis Moline. Foundry work. Hot stuff, you know. Oh yes, he worked hard. Dirty, smoky, his clothes were kind of oily, you know. I don't know, I just got by. I had a lot of friends. I had Esther and I had Sophie, and we used to be together so much all the time. We were sitting and talking and back of whose car was it, Lorraine's? Anyway, we had the trunk open. All of a sudden we started, one got in, next one got in, her, Esther, and Sophie, and I. And all of a sudden we started laughing. There, all three of us were in the trunk of the car. Yeah, we were really good friends. We sure got along so good. Oh, yes. That was such a shock. We went to bed at night, everything was fine, and we weren't very sick or anything. But anyway, in the morning, I got up, and then you kind of start wiggling around. And I was going to lift you out of your crib, and you couldn't even get out of your crib. It was just, your legs were just so bad. So I called the doctor, and he said, take her to Sister Kenny right away. And I used to, I don't know how many times a day that I would exercise you on that table. and come out of it. Oh yeah, and you were at Sister Kenny for how many weeks? I couldn't even see you. You were like in quarantine. And they got along pretty good. They grew up together. Oh, they'd fight some. Oh, we used to go to Canada fishing. That was Ray's biggest glory when we'd go to Canada. Briggs's, our neighbors had cabins up there. And we always stayed with them though, you know. That was fun. Oh, we used to get fish then. Oh. And we had this guide, Indian guide. His name was Tommy. And he used to find a lot of fish for us. Oh, we came home with a lot of fish. That was fun. We would stay a couple of days with Briggs's. Of course, Joyce was friend with Phyllis, so they got along pretty good. I guess that's kind of why we got started with Briggs's. I'd get home about 3 o'clock when school let out. My pet, Blackie, Pa couldn't understand why she would sit in that stool at a certain time. She knew when I was coming home. He used to get such a bang out of that. But Blackie, that was Ray's friend. She loved to go hunting. He'd make believe he was getting the gun, and she'd get all excited. I was born in Chaska, Minnesota on July the 25th, 1917. Been living here, 16 years now? All by myself. I've done a lot of praying. That helped. And of course, my family helped. They were with me all the time. Especially Lorraine and Joyce. Now, I'm real happy. I'm really happy. Smile. Now I'm real happy. I'm really happy. Smile.